Welcome. This is Living in Pensacola, Florida. I am the wonderful, just kidding, Tim Ekelund. The humble, right? Yes, exactly. But I'm super excited today. So this is actually going to start a new series. Okay. This channel is all about living, sleeping, working, vacationing, partying, doing everything in the Panhandle here in Pensacola.
Emphasis on partying.
Emphasis, you hear that? And so we're starting a new series, and we're going to start just, showcasing our local businesses. And I said, you know what? Let me start working with people that I've been doing business with. Okay. And we have the most beautiful Sabrina, last name? Simpson. Sabrina Simpson. S.S. S.O.S.
Sassy Simpson.
Sassy Simpson, I love it. Now, did you incorporate the SS from the name to the name?
We did not.
Oh wow!
You would think we did, but we did not.
Wow. So, I'm gonna try not to talk the whole time, right? That's but so Sabrina is the owner of a company called S.O.S. Co-owner with
Anthony,
who is
my hubby.
Hey hubby. And was he invited today?
He was, but he happened to find work to do. Imagine that.
Right, he's like, I'll let you two go and talk.
Yeah, I'll meet you.
Right? So, we're going to start doing these videos. So, a lot of people find us on the channel, are moving here, or they may actually live here. And so we want to start showcasing our local businesses, right?
Awesome.
So just want to kind of talk about you, what you guys do, why you started it. So the name of your company is
Something Old Salvage.
Something Old Salvage. Okay, and I've been working with them for years. So I think the first time that I called you guys was to do a clean out, years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys have probably done a good handful for me. And I've referred you to other things, and you guys just cleared out the condo out in Perdido. So, what do you guys do?
Okay. Really easy. We take trash. Now, what we do is we give people peace of mind, I think, above anything else. So our junk removal is all encompassing. We can haul anything from furniture to yard debris, construction debris. Our team does all the work. We take care of all the logistics. You just get one price and it includes everything. You just point and we take care of it. Sometimes you don't even have to point because I don't even think we met you on the job before.
Right, yes,
you just send us there and tell us what needs
Get it all out.
Right. Needs to be done, and we try to make it as seamless and as easy as a process as possible.
So how did this start? I mean, who just says, you know what, I'm going to start doing junk removal?
Well, okay, so you have to have been kind of around the stuff. So my husband he says from the time he was like 8 years old, he remembered going and pick up like cardboard and scrap metal and things like that with his dad, and they would recycle and so once he came offshore, because he used to work offshore as a way to supplement
when he was little?
Well, yeah. Well, it seems like it. Yeah. I think Ocean would have a problem with that.
Yeah. Or like my mom said, I was never little, I was just younger.
Younger, yes. So he worked, Anthony worked offshore for about 15 years or so.
Wow.
He was a crane operator. He was laid off, and so of course,
Now, for people, people that don't know what offshore means.
Okay.
What does that mean?
It's working out into the Gulf of Mexico on oil rigs and things like that, where oil and all of that good stuff come from.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
He was a crane operator and
good fishing out there.
Yeah, great fishing out there.
I've been tuna fishing out there. Super fun.
Great fishing out there, but also dangerous.
Very.
And he did that for quite a number of years. But of course, there was a big oil spill a few years ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, what?
Well,
2015?
2015. No, this was 2015.
2015.
Yeah. And as a result, things kind of slowed up, and he was laid off. So he's definitely not one to rest on his laurels. So he was like, I gotta make some money. He took a job that wasn't making as much, but he fell back on his.
Wait, so hold on a second. I want to stop you there because, I moved here without a job, right? I chased my wife here, and and go back to what I talk about on this channel are my experiences, right? Things that that I've done, and I have people that comment on this channel. There's no jobs and things like that, and I tell people there's jobs, but you have to want to work, right? And if you're lazy and you don't want to do something, then yes, there's no jobs for you. But so he did a job that he didn't want to do, or he wasn't making the kind of money he wanted to make but he had a job.
Yeah, he had a job.
It's because that's the thing about this area. Like, oh, there's no jobs. There's jobs, and you know what? Sometimes you may have to do something you don't want to do as a stepping stone to that next point, that next level.
Yeah, he says it all the time. He can't believe where we were, 6 years ago when he was laid off. I mean, he thought that's where he was going to retire. That was it. And how God just has shifted things, and it turned out for the better.
Wow.
And it was just like, okay, life threw something at me. That's fine. Get up, dust your stuff off, and figure out the next thing that you're gonna do.
Yeah.
And it's just been a blessing, and we've just been blessed to, meet people such as you and other investors and realtors and clients that, number one, gave us a chance the first time. Then we show up and do the service that's expected or exceeded expectations, and they call us back again.
Yeah, I was super, super impressed. I didn't know what to expect. You guys, I don't even remember if you got, if it was a referral from someone else or if I just found you or what. But, I was super impressed, and I've referred you guys out. But let's go back. He at that period of time, what made you get into this? So he go back, think back. He's like, "Gosh, I used to do this stuff," and then he just said, "There's a need for this." And
well, actually, somebody made a comment to him that, hey, people will let you just come pick up scrap metal because you can make money on scrap metal. You take it, and not everyone has the transportation to take something to a recycling center. So I remember he put just a post up on, I believe it was Nextdoor or Facebook, and he was like, hey, I'll pick up your scrap metal for free. So we started out doing it for free.
Yeah.
So he would pick it up, wash his dryer, refrigerators, whatever, take it, make a little money. It was just like a little side job. And then people would say, hey, can you take this couch or whatever? We can take it, but we have to charge you for it because you can't recycle those things normally. And
you got to go to the dump.
You have to go to the dump. Yeah, there's cost involved. And people didn't mind because when they have things that's disturbing them, such as junk or clutter or whatever, they have to get rid of it in some type of way. And so we did that for a year and a half. He would get out, he worked graveyard shift at the hospital, which was his primary job at the time. And he, in the daytime, he would go, and we had a little appointment book. The people that from Pensacola to Gulf Breeze and Milton, that we would just go and do jobs for them. And he loved it. And so we started looking and said, okay, what does it take to now? So it's like when that side business now is like you're making more money almost than your full-time business.
And you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Doing great. Setting a schedule, meeting people, and loving it. He absolutely loved doing it. I remember he was like, I want to be the Chick-fil-A of junk removal.
Wow.
Providing great service, and not just service in taking the stuff, but being courteous, professional, kind,
quick,
patient,
on time,
all of those things that sometimes, service business get a bad rap.
A lot of time. And you guys, I've talked about this before. I talk about it all the time. That this area is different, right? I mean, I moved from the West Coast. I grew up in Phoenix, lived in San Diego. If you wanted things done, there was a lot of people to get it done. Here, good luck, right? So I tell people I make a lot of money just because I answer my phone or I call people back. And
It's
you're probably the
crazy.
same thing, right?
It's crazy.
That you answer your phone, you call people back, and it's probably just, they're like, oh, wait a minute. You answered the phone.
Yeah,
wow.
people and that's really shocking sometimes. You're like, you answered the phone. Yeah. Not after hours though, no doubt. But
after hours.
We answer the phone or we'll call people back immediately. We respond to texts and emails and things like that. But not even that, we just follow through with what we say we're going to do. And we're honest with people. Sometimes, there may be jobs because we don't do any hazardous material or like medical waste. There's some jobs we have to say no to. We're not experienced or have the right certifications to do it. And we say no. People appreciate honesty.
Wow.
Go figure.
It's amazing.
Go figure. But, and I come from a background where I've done a lot of customer service jobs. I manage people in all different industries. So we wanted to bring that professional aspect to something that's trash.
Right.
Something that people don't necessarily think about, which I think has also garnered us a lot of favor and just has blessed us just beyond measure with our business and something Old Salvage.
Yeah, and I love it. What's like some random things, or like what's like the weirdest thing you've either been asked to pick up or you've gone to pick up? And because I know some of the places that you've cleaned for me, they've been foreclosures that I've bought, and I don't even know what's in them, right? It's just like, I don't even want to look through there. Just go do it. Like, what are?
I don't necessarily think it's random. So a lot of our clients are people that may have inherited a property.
Okay.
It's not always like gross and that sort of thing, but it's sometimes like when you inherited a property, you don't need all the furniture, you don't need all the stuff that's in it. And so I used to kind of struggle with that, whereas families would come in and say, okay, we've got what we want, and they will leave things like pictures, those kind of like memento things or whatever. And I'm like, I don't want to just throw somebody's stuff away, or we take it to the donation center, but donation center's not going to take pictures. So those was kind of really hard for me at first. But what he has taught me is that the memories are not in things. The memories are in your feeling and what you remember about the person. So while I used to think that was kind of weird, that, a lot of these kind of personal things were, just, we don't need these things, I understand it really puts perspective on things. Like, stuff comes and goes. Right. And that just has helped me a lot with just my journey in life, is that not to put a lot of stock in stuff. Just
that's
don't.
Huge.
Don't even think about it.
And that's pretty awesome, right? That, because especially in today's world, that everything is about what you have, right? And people forget about the important things.
Right.
And it's so funny. My parents are selling their house and moving out here. My mom's like, oh, we got 40 years worth of stuff. I'm like, who cares? Get rid of it. It's so funny. She's like, well, Timmy, she calls me Timmy, right? Like all the family calls me Timmy.
Now we know.
Right. Timmy, we have 40 years. Like, I gotta go this. I said, Mom, I help people move for a living. I said, so don't ask me for my opinion, because my opinion would be you would call Sabrina and all that stuff would be gone, right? Because, she's like, well, what do you want me to do with your baseball cards? I'm like, from 40 years ago? Obviously, get rid of them, but there's probably some good stuff in there. There's
I'll look through it first. Comic books, baseball cards.
Castle of Grayskull, right? All that kind of stuff. Someone calls you, they want to, is there a minimum? Is there a max?
So of course we have a minimum. Now we have free estimates. So we will come out for free. There's no charge to you for us to just give you a quote.
Do they call you?
They call us.
What's your number?
850-758-9900. or somethingoldsalvage.com.
S.O.S.
You can always make appointments
Facebook?
on Facebook, Instagram.
YouTube now?
We'll be
There
YouTube.
we go. There
we
we
do
go.
have a YouTube channel. Just don't update it as much as I should. But we try to have a lot. Google, even just Googling us, you can send us a request right there on Google. And you can check out our 255-star reviews.
Woo! Girl, that's awesome.
We're really proud of that because it shows a lot about
absolutely
not
100%.
just us. And when I say us, I'm
one
not
of those 255 is me.
Right, it is. It's not just us, me and Anthony. It is the team that we have around us because they have bought into what it is we're here for.
So you're not the one putting on the gloves and cleaning things up?
I am still capable and able to do so.
Of course, but you are a good leader and have built something, right? And with any business, like you get to the point where you either drive yourself to the grave working, or like a successful business owner, you hire people and you delegate those responsibilities.
Yeah.
And you were building a business, and
yeah, we really are trying to work on our business and not in our business.
I love it.
And and because that's what we wanted to build, not just we wanted to build a company that's sustainable, that didn't necessarily depend on us to run it day to day, but that if we stepped out, it's still, and our customers still receive the same type of service as we expect.
Yeah.
So hopefully most of my team has bought into that. Like we're serving a purpose. Like it's not just junk, we're taking care of people.
Yeah.
And it just happens to be junk is how we're taking care of them.
Gosh, I love it. And so if somebody was, are you guys hiring? Or how does that work? If someone saw this video, if they didn't need junk removal, but they were looking for a job.
So right now I'm actually hiring for some admin stuff. I'm hiring for a bookkeeper and also perhaps another assistant because I'm recently launching our real estate investing and also my real estate career. So we will be having that. But we also we're going into our peak season, which is spring and summer, which is when everyone wants to get out and clear away stuff. People are moving. So we are doing some hiring for our junk removal and also our cleaning staff. So they can always contact the office and set up an appointment for an interview. They interview with me directly. And I flesh out some questions and see how it goes. It has a personality test as well. Because again, it's not just about if you can pick up 75 pounds and throw it on the trailer. It's about if you can also take care of our customers and show them respect. Because sometimes people are not always susceptible to getting things hauled away, especially if they've had it for a long time or
emotionally.
Yeah, they're emotionally connected to it, but it's a necessary thing that has to happen. And the other thing is that we just don't throw away everything. We always try to find opportunities where we recycle, which is how we started. Or donate as much as possible. We've been fortunate to be able to donate to like Marcus Point and Teen Challenge and Children's Home Society. So, or even just people that say, hey, I'm looking for this. If you guys come across it, let me know. We'll keep it at our office. And
so you're giving back to the community,
try to
helping the community. That's one thing that we love. That's one thing we do. Is give back to the community, and being part of that, and knowing that we're a community-based business around a community, focused on a community. I love that.
Yeah, I don't think any business survives without having some aspect of realizing where their place is in the community, because the community gives you so much. You can't help but to give back. Yeah. And then it also at the end of the day saves putting things in the landfill and saving money and things like that. So it's all a simple thing. Yeah.
Because I think the Perdido landfill is like the highest point in Pensacola.
Oh my God! Yeah, that thing is getting big out there.
So if I needed my garage cleaned out, is that something you guys would do, or if I needed my pantry?
Your pantry.
My pantry.
Yeah.
Like, there's just so much stuff in my pantry and I need to clean out. Like, if I was to call you, what's your criteria? Is it, there a criteria, or is it just like, hey, call us and we'll come out to your house and...
Yes. So we have, so when it comes to like kind of organization, what we do is we help people kind of sort the things that they want to get rid of, the things they want to keep, and then our team will put it back in its place it's supposed to be.
Cool.
Now, as far as like organizing, which we don't do when it's like, hey, I need my closets organized, they're just filled to the brim. We don't do that, but we
like that one lady, isn't there a lady that's like on TV?
Yeah.
That like organizes closets or something
we don't
like
do
that.
that.
Yeah.
And the other thing we don't do is moving. So people sometimes will say, hey, of course we have trucks and trailers, and they're like, hey, I just need to pick up a refrigerator here and move it there. That's not anything that we do. That's a completely different business, completely different insurance and liability. So we don't want to be responsible if your TV gets broken or something like that.
So since you said that, are you guys licensed, insured, and that kind of stuff?
So we don't have to have like a contractor's license or anything like that. So if you go to like DBPR, you're not going to find...
which is the Department of Business and Professional Regulations.
Sorry. All these acronyms. But what we did is we are registered with the state of Florida. We have an LLC. We are registered with both Escambia and Santa Rosa County and also City of Pensacola and things like that. So we have those proper business tax licenses. And then in addition to that, we carry both workers' comp insurance and liability insurance, because not only do we want to protect our people if something was to happen on the job, we also want to protect our clients' property as well if something was to happen.
So what is your background? You talked about your husband, but what you're talking about here is, it's bigger than, you're talking about, you guys started this business and you're running it. Like, what was your background? Or like, all of a sudden, you're running a business.
Yeah.
And how did you figure it out? Then did you start taking classes?
Yeah.
Did you, start watching YouTube videos on how to run a business? Because, people ask questions, and a lot of times people are so scared to do things because they think it's going to be too much, right? Or they're I can't do this because I got to do that. Can you talk a little bit about your experience and what made you?
Well, all of the above, but I also think that I was a born leader. I'm the oldest of 8 children.
Whoa.
So,
wow.
I
couldn't imagine. I only have 2.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine having 8. Wow.
So I've had to lead people all my life. So,
wow.
So naturally for me, that just kind of comes with it. I'm also a person that I enjoy learning. And when I don't know something, I am going to all kind of resources to find out what does it take, how can you do these kind of things. Previously to me, working full-time with the junk, because when we started, I was still working my full-time job. I used to work for a software company. I'm not a tech person. I'm more the customer service kind of person. But, and I did a couple of things there. But I brought that kind of aspect to it, like just kind of how do we kind of structure things, or learning how to structure, going to Small Business Development Center, having a mentor, just being a sponge for people.
Here locally, did you feel like those resources were readily available when it comes to, because I think so. Our agent growth coach, his name's Glenn McDuffie, was part of UWF and SBDC, and I think there's a lot of great resources here for people wanting to get into entrepreneurship and to start their own business.
I think that definitely there's resources here. Unfortunately, I think sometimes is that it also depends on your personality. If you're not the type of person that's just like, okay, I need to keep going, I need to keep going, I need to keep learning. Because as an entrepreneur, no one's going to hold your hand.
It's amazing, right?
People will help you as long as you're trying to help yourself.
Right.
That has been my experience. People will pour into you, will help you out, as long as they see that you're trying. If you're asking questions, if it seems like you may not be doing it right, but at least you're doing something.
Right.
I don't think you get things by just sitting back and saying, hand it to me. Number one, you don't feel, if something is just handed to you, to me personally, it's not as satisfying as gratifying is when you go out there and kind of hustle for yourself.
Right.
Case in point, of course, we started our business all about get some Google reviews, and this, that, or whatever. And I remember setting up our Google account, and I asked friends and family, like, hey, go leave us a review. And they're still on there. And I'm like, to this day, those reviews, I'm like, oh, I wish we hadn't done that, because they don't mean as much by somebody just going out there and just doing it than a review that we worked really hard for. Yeah. You know, so that would be the one thing is like, do the work. If you don't understand, if you don't know something, ask. People are willing to ask, because most people remember what it was like for them when they started something. Yeah. And I just say, never stop asking, never stop being willing to learn. There's always something new, you know, social media, taxes, whatever it is, something's always coming at you, and you're not the expert on everything. Right. You have to be able to reach out to the people that know, to delegate responsibility, because you're going to burn yourself out trying to do everything by yourself. Yeah. Which was a learning experience for me, because I was like, I gotta do everything. And
totally.
It's
all
not
the hats.
You can't, I don't think anyone is the expert at every single thing. Right. So you have to be willing to listen to people that's kind of traveled that road before you. Yeah. Because there's nothing new under the sun. Right,
exactly. Exactly. This is our first, kind of business to business. This is Sabrina. And with S.O.S. So if somebody has questions, or if they want to inquire about your business, how do they find you?
So easiest way, give us a call or text us at 850-758-9900. You'll almost always get someone to answer the phone immediately. If not, we will call you back ASAP. But you can also go to our website, somethingoldsalvage.com. You can send us a request online, or you can schedule your free in-person quote. But you can also find us on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and also YouTube. S.O.S. Junk Removal.
There we go. YouTube. Well, sweet. Anything else you want to put out there? Or also, I'll just keep rambling, and then people are going to fall asleep to this video.
No problem. But, No, I appreciate this opportunity. Yes, this has been fantastic. This is awesome. I love it.
This is great.
I never, ever hesitate to take an opportunity to talk trash.
Right. I love it.
I appreciate that. I am passionate about my clients. We are passionate about just helping those that need help. And just doing what we're supposed to do. Anthony is born and raised here in Pensacola, so
he's awesome.
We ain't going nowhere.
Right. And it seems like you guys have some great growth that you have planned, and setting this up to just take over the Panhandle, take over Florida, or what?
Well, honestly, I've realized you don't have to grow out in order to grow. So we are just digging.
She's just dropping all the knowledge today, everybody.
We are just digging deep right here at home in Escambia and Santa Rosa County, which is why we've started the real estate investing. I'm launching my real estate agency, career, and not agency, not yet anyway.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But, we're trying to do everything and everything we can to make the process of junk removal, whether it be you want to try to list or buy or whatever, as seamless, as easy as possible for our clients. That's what we're here for. To make a little money in the process.
So you guys make sure you hit up S.O.S. and we really appreciate you watching. Once again, make sure you hit us up if you have any questions about junk removal. Hit them up if you have any questions about the area. Real estate, or if you're coming here to vacation, make sure you watch the videos on all the different stuff we have. We are going to be getting into hurricane season, so make sure you watch our hurricane video. Now, that's also probably something you guys would be doing. Yeah. And we could make a whole other video about that. But thank you so much. We appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you on the next video. Yay!